My name is Ron Newman. I'm getting to meet a lot of people. I have been a long-time Tucsonian. I came to Tucson in 1969, and other than when the military sent me off to other places, this has always been my home and my home of record. I'm also a long-time Republican. When I decided to run for Justice of the Peace, and I'll let you know how that came about in just a second. I didn't have to change to make it convenient like so many other folks do from time to time. I can't remember how long I've been registered as a Republican. There are three things I've really done in my life. I've been a good family man. I like to think I am. My family will be the judge of that. I've been a lawyer and I've been a soldier. For the last 40 years, I've practiced law in the Tucson community. I've been in every court, handled every type of case in the federal and state courts, superior courts, justice court. I have clients that are all over the state. I work also as a part-time judge pro tem at the Justice Court already. I was appointed in that position in 2014. And I do their more advanced cases. I do their jury trials. I average about 1 to 2 jury trials a month to the court. And I do their forcible detainers, their civil matters. In fact, I'm sitting Friday. So I'm already doing the job I'm running for. I got in, I never thought I'd run for office. However, I learned that Judge Jack Payton is retiring. And that's Justice of the Peace Precinct 10. So let me review with you where that is. Even though you may not live in my precinct, and they call it a Justice of the Peace Precinct. That's how they do that. That's the Marana area, the Rancho Festoso area, northwestern Oro Valley, Dove Mountain, and all the way to the Pinal County line or the reservation as you go west. Those of you that happen to live in that area, I would ask that you sign my petition on the way out. That would be much appreciated. Well, I'm happy to say we're doing very well with signatures. We're very pleased. We're working very hard. Before I tell you a little bit more about myself, I think it's also important for me to review with you what the court does. As I've gotten out among our citizens to get petitions and talk to people and get known, many people said, well, what do you do other than marry people of Justice of the Peace? Well, I left my card and I decided I would invest the time on the other side of the card to educate folks what really we do in Justice Court. Justice Court and the Tucson City Court are probably the only two forums that most people in Pima County are exposed to in regards to the legal system. So it's very important that they get a good, positive impression and experience, whether they win or lose, as to what the system is about. I'm very passionate about that. That's one of the reasons when Jack Payton, who can't endorse me because he's a sitting judge, but I will tell you, he signed my petition. He's encouraged me to run, as well as a lot of the other judges up there. So that's why I'm doing this. The Justice Court does all the heavy misdemeanors. We also set bonds for the felonies and determine whether they're released before they're bound over to Superior Court. We do civil cases under $10,000. I'm not talking about small claims. I'm talking about actual civil trials, and that's misleading because that has to do with the amount that is asked for. By the time 2 lawyers get involved in a civil case, a judgment could very easily be rendered by one of us in excess of $15,000, almost to $20,000. So it's not a small deal. So you want the right person in there that has experience with civil matters, criminal matters. We also do domestic violence. It's very interesting that in the past 10 years, the domestic violence filings in our court alone have increased by 110%. Jack Payton presently does most of that calendar, so I will be assuming his duties in January after this election. So again, it's important to have an experienced person. I have, as I said, been practicing law for over 40 years. I've done complicated real estate matters. I have done criminal felony matters. And I have done very complex civil matters. We also do forcible detainers. Forcible detainers are eviction actions. I will tell you, in the last 2 years, I've presided over hundreds of those. And those are complicated as well. So, I urge you that there is a choice in this election for Justice of the Peace for Precinct 10. I have the experience. I'm the person that will continue to do the job. I don't need on-the-job training because I'm doing it right now. Also, in addition, I want to, for you veterans out there, I am a veteran. I'm a retired U.S. Army colonel in the Armor Corps. In 2010, I believe in community service. And you'll see from my card that I do give you examples of what I've done here in the community in the past few years. You'll also note that in 2010, after I was retired, and I was in full retirement from the military, I got a call one day from a general who used to work for me during when I was in Desert Storm. I went back to being a lawyer. He went on to become a general. I don't know who was smarter. Anyway, he said, Ron, would you like to come back to active duty? And I said, are you kidding me? He goes, well, a bunch of us over here have seen your background, and we have a spot for you. And I said to him, what do you mean over here? Oh, I'm calling you from Kuwait. So I knew I was gone. I closed my practice in 2010, and they sent me overseas, and I was in the Middle East, in the combat zone in Kuwait and in Afghanistan, and I've been all over Afghanistan since 2012, and I came back and started practicing law again. I'm very much supportive of law enforcement as well. My son is a police officer in Seattle. He has been for 20 years. So I will tell you that having grown up with that in the family, we're very sensitive to law enforcement as well. My campaign manager, his name is Bill Dickinson. Some of you may know the name because he's a 30-year retired Pima County prosecutor. That's our team.